In Madden, every single year, you have to be able to defend players that flip their offensive formation. This is a tactic that so many players use, whether it's flipping their bunch or audibling from trips left to bunch right or bunch left to trips right. That is going to allow them to get the advantage, and that upper hand is something that a lot of players crumble if they can't get their defense set up. So today I'm going to give you guys not one, but 2 secrets that I use to defend these types of players. These are going to help you guys out tenfold. So make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Zan Madden YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, drop a comment below. What is the thing you struggle most defending? I'm going to take some of those comments and we'll put those in shorts or in future long form videos. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Now, here is the reason that I run the defense that I run every single year. It might be the over G, it might be nickel 2-4, it might be nickel over, but in general, I always choose a defense that has cover 6 and also cover 9. So in fact, I'm going to show you guys my audibles. When I go into any given game, I've got quarters, I've got cover 6, and I've got cover 9. Now, the reason that I like to start off with this tip is that with a defense like, for instance, cover 6, it's going to align towards the passing strength. The easier way to say this is the side with more receiving options is the passing strength. But as we know, a lot of players like to audible from a passing strength left to maybe a passing strength to the right. That could be something as simple as flipping from bunch tight end into regular bunch. But now our cover 6 is completely misaligned. Now, for most players, this involves having to flip your formation, and then do I have zone drops on or off? Do I make, the adjustments on the fly before they quick snap me? That's problematic for so many players. So this is why having the cover 9 also in your defensive audibles, or just in your arsenal in general, is so key. So the difference between a cover 6 and a cover 9 is that in a cover 6, you're playing cover 4 match to the passing strength, but in cover 9, you're playing cover 4 match to the weak side of the passing formation. So when somebody flips their formation to gain the upper hand on you, let's say that we're in a cover 6 style defense, somebody flips their formation to gain the upper hand on you, they are looking to see whether or not you're going to flip that nickel corner with them. The simple act of being able to audible from cover 6 into cover 9 allows you to not really have to put in that command of first flipping your play to get the nickel corner over there. After all, this is essentially the same defense flipped, but we didn't flip the formation. So now we can have our cover 6 match to that side of the field. One of the defenses that I love to run against a regular bunch offense is the cover 9 rotation, because I can kind of mix that in with the bunch strong. So one of the things that I think is really, really useful, if I play someone that is a habitual formation flipper, we can sometimes take time out of the process and just call the defense for the formation they're going to flip to, or we've got this in our audibles where we can just quickly access it. So let me give you a really good example. Maybe I'm facing someone who runs something as simple as bunch to bunch strong. A lot of times you don't have time to make this work. Now against the bunch normal, I typically like to run cover 6, and we've talked about this before. We run what's called point flat. But when they audible into the bunch strong, all of a sudden I'm in a spot where if I want to set up my true bunch defense for bunch strong, I would basically have to reset the play and then change 3 or 4 zones, and you might not even get it done. Okay. This is where having the cover 9 in your audibles as well is key, because let's say that they go into that bunch strong. So let's say we're in cover 6, we got our point flat set up. As soon as they audible into bunch strong, I'm going quickly into cover 9 and just making those 3 adjustments, and we are completely set up with a simple audible. This is much easier than you came out in cover 6, oh, they audibled into something else, let me reset my cover 6 and then make all those custom adjustments again. No, just audible fresh out into something else. This is going to be super, super key for you. So now we're in our bunch strong defense. If they go to run their little corner strike or their Durham or their dagger, you're going to be in a spot where you've got your matching behaviors active. So we talked about this just last week. We snap the ball. You got match on this. You're in a real good spot. Double corner, completely bagged. This is also extremely useful when you're talking about trips formations to bunch formations. Now, if you guys are enjoying today's video, make sure you guys also check out gridirongameplans.gg. What I'm teaching in this video is content that has been on the website all year long. This is stuff that members of Gridiron Game Plans have been running for months and months on end to slow down this Jets meta or the Philly meta or really anything else in the game. And these conceptual defenses are going to carry you forward, not just in Madden 24, but arguably into Madden 25. Make sure you guys go take advantage of the website. It's $9.95. Go look at everything I've done all year long. Learn everything, bring yourself up to speed, and be ready for launch of Madden 25. But we've also got a college football 25 presale active right now. If you guys are going to be plugged in on that game, $75 gets you everything all year long. It's going to be all vault tips, all offensive and defensive game plans, and members only Discord access. So make sure you guys check that out. So as I mentioned, I like to run cover 6, cover 9. I'm a big fan of this. One of my favorite defenses against trips is to run a bluff blitz defensive end on the running back. So that way, if the running back runs, you know, like a table route or something like that, you've got a player that's going to play that man-to-man and pick it off. That allows me to focus my attention on using the trip side. I don't have to worry about the running back. It just makes life a lot easier. But of course, players are going to very frequently either flip their trips tight end or flip from trips into a bunch style offense. So what this allows me to do is when they flip, I can just say, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to audible straight to cover 9 and bluff blitz the other guy. So now we're in a spot where now we're in the same defense to the other side of the field. They go to throw their little table route. You're going to have, you know, a guy that can kind of jump it in the flat. You're in a good spot. Looks really good. But this also plays for trips to bunch. So if we were to go from the trips tight end into the gun bunch, I can basically say, all right, well, you know, cover 6 the wrong direction. I don't want to flip. Let's just go straight cover 9. Boom. We're done with that. Really simple. And then we can still set up our defense that we were just breaking down against bunch, which is our point flat. So now when they go ahead and snap their verticals or whatever, they try to throw this ball out to the flat, that's completely shut down. We've got it really bagged up. Verticals is covered. Really anything they run is covered. So this is the whole cover 6, cover 9, flipping a passing strength. It's a real simple concept that I think is going to bode you guys really well. Now, for those of you that don't like to play match, I've got another thing that you guys should pay attention to. And this is going to be basically the man align. Now with man align, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to still run auto flip on, but we're going to set our alignment here to man. What we're going to do for this is we're basically just going to play nickel over G cover 2. And with this particular defense, if our opponent comes out bunch to the left side, we're going to be aligned correctly. What I oftentimes will do in a defense like this is set up something very symmetrical. So I'll have 2 hooks, I'll have a middle third nickel corner, and then outside third safeties. If my opponent flips, the wonderful thing about man align is I don't got to flip with it. The nickel corner is just going to travel left and right and left and right. If they decide that they want to audible into really anything, it's not going to matter. If they audible back to the bunch tight end, you're going to see that it's going to travel. Now, the one downside to this is anytime your opponent audibles from a formation that has receivers on both sides to all 3 receivers travel, you're going to see that now both corners are going to start to run with that. So just make sure that you guys, if you guys don't want that, you click onto your outside corner to prevent that from happening. So you see right here, I could actually, in theory, just keep Neil on this side. That way, when they're flipping and doing this to us and they realize it's man align, now when you get this, you're only going to see just the nickel corner traveling. Now, I accidentally tapped Revis, so I'm going to go ahead and respot the ball. But this is a really nice mix in that you guys can, you know, kind of keep yourself in man align for the important spot on the field. Make sure that you don't have to worry about the other corners kind of doing that. So again, they flip. You're going to see Revis is going to run. Now, because I've touched both those outside corners, if they were to audible into, say, like bunch tight end, you're not going to see the B corner on the far right run across and give up that flat to the right side. He's now going to stay on that side of the field. This is going to be great because this allows us to just stay in a symmetrical style of defense that, you know, affords us a great opportunity for, you know, whether it's a corner route meta or, you know, a slant post meta in the middle of the field, whatever it is you're worried about, you're going to be in a spot where you can kind of use her and, you know, muddy it up. You know, you're going to be able to play kind of a spongy defense. A lot of players struggle against an inverted cover 3. So this is a great little trick that you guys can work in as well. The other thing, of course, that you can do is kind of roll your coverage in weird ways. The downside to this is obviously if they flip, now all of a sudden you're going to have to reset all your zones. So in a lot of those cases, I'll just go boom, and then just kind of, you know, because I don't want that player that was in an outside left zone now all of a sudden over here in an outside left zone. You kind of want him on the, you know, the same side of the field. So you just got to be careful with that a little bit, but this is going to allow you to kind of just keep that image of, if you flip, I'm going to be right in tune with you in this. Now, as far as the man aligning thing with cover 6 against like a bunch style offense, I'm not saying that you can't do this. You know, if they flip or whatever, you're going to see here that he's going to run to that side. In these cases, again, you're not really going to be like, if I were to, you know, audible, you're going to see that he's going to be on the wrong side of the field constantly. So if you're changing your plays, just be aware that on man align, anytime the guy goes across the field, he's staying in the zone that you put him in. So it's not just going to automatically turn into the correct zone. If I were to audible into cover 2, you're gonna see he's on the wrong side of the field. So anytime this occurs, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to this. The real saving grace with this tip is just that he's always going to align on the nickel side. This is really, really good. Let's say for whatever reason, I wanted to neutralize a guy individually and then maybe play, you know, something like this. This is fine as well because he's always going to travel with that player and just stay in man-to-man on him. So if you guys like that as an option, that's another way that you guys can deal with these flip corners. You know, a lot of times guys will run, you know, these little routes where they're trying to get a corner route into the sideline, and just having a guy manned up on it can help neutralize that. So I like to utilize my slot corner as a neutralizer with man coverage abilities as well. But this has been mostly about how to kind of deal with people who flip using match, using the inverted cover 3 rotations, and obviously the man coverage trick as well. But I'm going to leave it right there. 3 tips that are going to help you guys get better against people who constantly flip and audible. I think that this is a great foundation to help build your defense into the future, help understand coverage concepts, put yourself in a spot where you're dictating what your opponent does rather than them trying to quick snap you. Hope I will see you guys later this afternoon for our next YouTube short. If not, we'll see you guys tomorrow with another long form upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get the lab in. Good luck.